All right, here we go. Go Sports Radio. Carver and Cuthbert here with you from Borelli's Tap Room in Long Beach on the island. Very, very cold on the island. I've had enough of it. Like, I get it. Winter's, winter. It's cold in the winter. Like, we're getting like January, February cold in December, and I don't need it. Like, you give me 45 to 55 for a couple more weeks before I got to freeze, and they basically put me in carbonite here the next couple of weeks. I just don't need it. I need a little bit of warmer weather, but it's a beautiful, breezy, cold morning on the island in Long Beach at Borelli's Tap Room, and we are with you here as we got a lot to do, so much to talk about. We have NFL moving into week 15. Down the stretch they come, 4 weeks left. MLB winter meetings this week. If you're a fan of the locals, sure don't look like nothing's going to be happening for you except losing players. That's pretty much all that's going on in that department. Knicks advancing in the NBA Cup. We got a lot of hockey. Another big Islander win last night against Vegas. And we've got the college football playoff, which we'll get into in a moment here to start things off. Mike Carver, along with Paul Cuthbert. Hi, Paul. How are you?
How are you, Michael? Happy December 10th and happy 10th episode of the Carver and Cuthbert Show.
Episode 10.
We made it.
Is that right? 10 in, double digits.
10th anniversary today.
And now you got to, that's like the one marker you reach. You go single digits into double digits. And then the next is triple, right? Like that would be the next.
Cross some fingers, buddy.
What do you 50? Is that like the next, like you can make like that's 50 episodes.
50 is going to be awesome.
50 you can go
big
to
party
next.
Here at Borelli's on the 50th.
That's true. We can do that. And you can always welcome to come down to Borelli's every Wednesday and Thursday.
Partying here every week.
Every week we're partying in Borelli's, which is good. Very, very busy. How was the weekend, pal? You did okay?
I tell you what, you nailed it, man. It is cold. This is January.
I don't
February
need
cold.
it.
Yeah, it's a little.
I don't need
a little
it.
early
Like,
for this year.
I don't like hot either. But I like that middle ground. But this is too much. Like, and it's extended. Like, if it was 1 or 2 days, fine. But like, it's every day. Like, I hate having to put the jacket on. Like, I just want to throw the sweatshirt on.
I can't get all my Christmas decorations up. I've only got sections.
I did do that. I do have all of that going on. So at least I'm finished with something.
Is what it is.
We'll
make it through. We'll make it through.
We will. Very busy. Let's get going because I've been waiting to get at this for the last few days.
Chomping at the bit, so
I have been a little bit, and that's the. We'll start with college today. Usually we do the NFL and the locals and what they do. And the Giants didn't play and the Jets suck. There you go. There's your recap of the NFL, the locals in the NFL this weekend. So I don't really have to go that much deeper into it. We'll talk about the Jets and their great effort against the flipper at MetLife. They got smashed in that game. I mean, just smashed. The Jets did. But we will do the NFL first. I'm starting with college football today.
Sound a little hot, man.
Because we have it. The college football playoff, the 12 teams that are in, the bowl matchups, we know all of these things.
I sense a little rage.
Well, yeah, and I think that off the surface, this is going to be, if you're watching and if you're tuning in, it's going to be one of these, Mike's a Notre Dame guy, so here we go. He's going to complain about Notre Dame, and he's going to complain about this is actually, Paulie, believe it or not, sure, I'm a little upset about that aspect of it. Would I be as upset if it was Alabama, even the team left out? Probably not, because Alabama, they won enough. I don't need the last 20 years. I don't care if they're in. But it's actually a bigger thing, Paulie. It's the bigger aspect of it. And of course, Notre Dame was left out in case you're just joining in. Notre Dame didn't make it, even though they're one of like the 3 or 4 best teams in the country. But I get it. They lost to Miami way back Labor Day weekend. So, that's it. That's the way the cookie crumbles now. But it's the way that you get there, Paulie, that really bothers me about all of these things, because it's a TV show at the end of the day. I don't think there's ever a real champion. College football has been this way forever. Even before this, it was, we're going to put, when we were kids, it was teams play bowl games and, the AP votes on who the national champion is, or the coaches poll votes on who the national champion. You got to be who's first in both polls. They're the national champion that year. Then they found this other BCS way, and the computers decided who was going to be in the playoff or in the national championship game. They expanded it to 4 teams, and Suits got in a room and did it. Now the Suits picked the 12 teams that are in it. So they've always evolved how ridiculous it is to decide who the champion is in college football. But it's become so over the top now of how much it is a TV show instead of a sport, who's going to win the sport. Because I'm trying to say this in the best way that I can. College football is professional sports now.
Absolutely.
I mean, it is. It's, they get paid. All the players get paid now. There's huge money. You see these television deals. You see this is beyond collegiate athletics is what this is beyond. And this is a television show. But for you to have these dopey rankings every single week and every Tuesday night, put a big show on about it throughout the entire month of November, and you have one team ahead of another for whatever it was, 6 or 7 consecutive shows, television shows of rankings that they do this. So 6 or 7 of these consecutive, you have one team ahead of another. And then you're down to the last one. The 2 teams in question neither played a game that weekend.
Throw that on top.
So what happened from their 6th to, their 6th poll to their 7th poll with neither playing a game that suddenly we could just put one, what is that? What kind of a system is that?
Nobody seems to know. And I'm sure you saw all the, the following day interviews and
sure,
of
all the high-powered millionaire suits who run these places.
Brett Yormark from Notre
another,
Dame.
yeah,
he went everywhere. He was on every show.
Yeah,
almost kind of was a little. Very planned.
There's very few people who like hearing themselves talk more than Brett Yormark. Wow. So, and that goes back, Paulie, from when he was running the Barclays Center, when he was running, he did a lot of things here in the New York area. And Brett Yormark is a super smart guy when it comes to stuff, but no one loves hearing themselves talk more than Brett. So,
and that's on the ND side. And we expect it. Getting back to this question we've had about CFB the whole time here is nobody seems to have an answer. And you got about 40 or 50 of them from so many talking heads,
right?
Top guys in the league, top commentators, former coaches, former directors, GMs, athletic directors, and then everybody who hosts a network and a podcast had all their, their opinions on this.
Right. Like we do right now.
And then you have the 2 things where, the ACC, so supposedly has it out for Notre Dame, right? And then you talk about the ratings and the TV side of this, how this is going to affect ESPN. And then you have other people saying, well, the ratings weren't really up that much for Notre Dame this year anyway. So it's like it's such a mess. It's all over the place. You don't really know which way to go from here. And then on top of that, not that it's new, but then Notre Dame pulling out of the bowl. And
right. And that I'm going to get to that.
Yeah.
There's so many layers to this that I will get to that part of it as well, because being the Notre Dame guy that I am, and you like Notre Dame too, I don't like that. I don't particularly like any team doing it. And they're not the only team that did it. Kansas State did it. Iowa State did it. This team did it. That did it. Plenty of teams now every year back out of these bowls because it's too much of a money situation. But to continue with this, the problem is, Paulie, on several levels, is that the college football playoff is in bed with ESPN. ESPN is in bed with the SEC and the ACC. They have the SEC and the ACC network. They both run. They are not in bed with the Big Ten. They are not in bed with the Big 12. They are not in bed with Notre Dame. They are not in bed. So when you have another team, and we're going to use Alabama here, and in the years that they've been doing this, they like to tell you this tagline of, well, we don't want to penalize teams for losing conference championship games. We don't like doing that. You win a conference championship game, you shouldn't be penalized for doing that. Well, then how come in the last 3 years, every team that lost in a conference championship game fell at least one spot in the final rankings, except for one? That was Alabama this weekend.
Yeah.
And they got they didn't lose an overtime 3-point game to Georgia. They got throttled in the game.
Good call by you, by the way.
And they didn't drop one spot, but BYU dropped.
Yep.
They lost Texas Tech. Last year, SMU dropped. Now, they still put them in, but they dropped them. What is it? What are the rules? Like, at the end of the day, what are the rules? And what's the criteria? Because, as I said to you probably 3 or 4 weeks ago, if it's Notre Dame and Miami, and it's the last spot, and it's the 2 of them, yes, the games have to matter at some point. We got to get there. Now, I also feel Miami only got in because they didn't want to look like fools and not have a team from the ACC in it after Duke beat Virginia on Saturday night. So I think that also worked against Notre Dame. And honestly, they're right in this aspect too. The ACC spent 48 hours dragging Notre Dame around. They replayed the Miami Notre Dame game from week 1 on the ACC network for like 36 hours straight.
Didn't know that.
On Friday, going into Saturday. And they are partners, even though they're not in football. They are partners in 24 other sports. They're in the ACC.
Yeah.
That relationship is over. It will be. I think the opt-out's after 28 or 29, or maybe they can get out sooner. Notre Dame's got billions of dollars, so they could probably pay whatever it is to get out. But you will see that relationship end over the next couple of years. There's so many ways to go here.
Well, on that too, the fallout, like that seems to be very serious with
Right.
Notre Dame pulling out their other sports at the ACC. Like this, the ripple effect here. And so 2 things. The CFB platform here, there's not a lot of wiggle room, especially, with the schedules and how the games do turn out. And then obviously the championship games last weekend, and then how the beginning of the season starts, right? So there's really just not a lot of room there. Then you talk about the big relationships and how big of a university Notre Dame is just nationally and even worldwide, let's just say. Notre Dame is in a way where you might think like Manchester United in the Premier League is, how popular they are around the world. So it's not just in the States here too. So there's not a lot of wiggle room there. And now what you just brought up, this talk, and I heard about it too, is that it affecting college athletics going forward in other sports. And this ultimately here, we're talking about executives, university owners, athletic directors, and the kids have no say in this at all. And
Zero.
It ultimately comes down and affects them. So if the athletics change as far as ACC and where Notre Dame goes going forward, and I don't know. Like, I have no idea. Like, if they don't play in the ACC, where do those teams play? What kind of experience do those kids get? Are they losing games? Are they not going to play? I don't know that yet. But ultimately, one way or the other, something that kids aspire to do every year to play for the University of Notre Dame, it's going to be different now going forward, regardless, even on the football side and on any part of it. And then I wonder if that even trickles down to just administration and recruiting and all this stuff going forward.
Sure. And look, there's a lot of hot takes about this, and there's a lot of, this is what you get for not being in the conference. And you see all of these things come up too in football. Again, we'll say it for like the 400th time. They're not in a conference because they're the one team in college football that one network is willing to give $1 billion to have their games on. Mm-hmm. No one else is getting their door banged down to do that. They are. Now, I'm not naive either. Is it the same as it was in the 60s and 70s and 80s?
No.
And how much on a pedestal Notre Dame was? No, it is not. But they still are, whether you like it or not, the most either loved or hated.
Well, even more so with modern technology and the TV platforms and the audiences and everything else.
And it may be more people hate them than love them now. And that's all fine and good.
That's great.
That's all fine and good. But at the end of the day, they still have that massive pull to them. And it is true. And the guy brought it up, that Notre Dame brought it up to the AD when he spoke yesterday. They play 6 guaranteed games against the ACC in football every year for the past few years. When Notre Dame goes and plays in those buildings are full. When they go to Raleigh to play NC State, people are there. Yep. When they go to Bobby Dodd and play Georgia Tech, people are there. They moved that game. We brought to where the Falcons play last year to get more people in the building. They are a draw, and the ACC is probably going to be gone in a few years anyway because they've done such bad business, and they're going to lose Clemson and Florida State. And they're going to
touch on that for a second. How does that happen?
Well, because I think Clemson and Florida State have been trying to get out of the ACC for the last few years, and those are their anchor schools in college football.
Okay.
And if they wiggle their way out, and there's a massive, the bill for them would be like $50 million if they did it in the next however many years it is, and the grant of rights and all these other things that are involved in it. It's a lot of technical, legal mumbo jumbo that I honestly, Paulie, is too deep in the weeds for me.
Yeah.
But there's a scenario where I think that conference could fall apart in the next few years. And it sucks, but it is what it is. But that's what's happened now to college sports. This isn't what it was when we were kids anymore. This is not, the pageantry and the regional rivalries and all these other, this is big business and all that. Now,
and that's the other thing real quick too. So what, Tulane's in?
well,
And
that's where I'm going next.
yeah.
Because
who wants to really watch
as
that?
much as everybody wants to make this a Notre Dame, Miami, Alabama thing, at the end of the day, there's two things I would do that they can do right now immediately, Paulie, that would, I think, help their situation, the college football playoff thing. Now, they need to do more than this, but I think two things right off the jump that can help is, number one, stop putting out the weekly rankings. Stop doing it. Now, I know they're not going, it's a television and they get eyeballs to it and they get conversation, and that's why they're not. But I would stop doing that, because then when you get to the end, and if they didn't have any previous rankings and then on Sunday said, well, Notre Dame, Miami's ahead of Notre Dame, everyone said, well, they beat them, but having them ahead of them for 6 weeks and then flipping it at the end is what makes you look stupid. So that's why you can't have it. And the second thing I would do, as you were about to bring up, I understand there were years where the little guy gets screwed and doesn't get to play in the sandbox with the big teams. UCF, those years that they ran around calling themselves national champions and whatever it was, 16 or 17 with Scott Frost. And they put this thing in, Paulie, to make sure that the little guy has a seat at the table.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is that years where the little guy isn't that good, it's going to look bad.
Mm-hmm.
And this is one of those years. Tulane has 2 losses. They shouldn't be in the college football playoff. James Madison has a lot. They shouldn't be in the college football playoff. But because they have this guaranteed 5 conference championship nonsense put in there, they are now hands tied to this. Like, what would you rather see in the college? Would you rather see Notre Dame and BYU, or Notre Dame and Texas, or Notre Dame and Vandy, or Notre Dame and whoever
Absolutely.
in these games against Oregon and Ole Miss the first weekend? Or instead you've got 20-point spreads of Jimmy Madison and Tulane playing in them. And I'm all for the little guy. But they've also done this because they want to be the NCAA tournament in March Madness so badly. But it's a different game.
Yeah, no, you
Like,
can't do it.
You get upsets, and you know how much everyone loves it, Paulie. Those first few days of the NCAA tournament, you get, Oakland beating Kentucky and all that, Princeton beating Georgetown. You get all these
different games.
It is a completely different game. And even when those upsets happen, Paulie,
when I say game, sport, I mean, it's
completely
just,
different sport.
Yeah.
But when those upsets do happen, and even if the little guy does win a game or two, and yes, there was, the year Butler made it to the title game and they lost. Do those teams ever win? Do they ever win at all? No. Let's say, for some reason, and this isn't happening, for some reason, Jimmy Madison walked into Eugene next Saturday afternoon and beat Oregon. Let's just say, and don't believe this is happening. I'm giving you an example.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say they won the game. You think they're winning the next 3 too and winning the national championship?
Not a chance.
Not a chance. This is stupid. It's dumb. I get why it was put in. It's time to go. If a team from the American or the Mountain West or the Sun Belt is undefeated and they're good enough to be in the top 12, they'll be in the top 12 and get their chance.
Mm-hmm.
When they lose 2 games and they're ranked 25th, they shouldn't be there. It's just that why are we not calling it a 12-team playoff, but we don't put the 12 best teams in? This is college athletics, Paulie, right now. Stupidity at every angle.
And it is surprising, especially with the money, especially with ratings, especially with, you want the best universities in there, or the most popular universities in there. Obviously we both totally understand. There is a whole side of fans here that, like I said, boo-hoo, don't care, hate
Right.
Notre Dame, but at the end of the day, and it's not just Notre Dame, like you said, BYU, it's just like, it's very surprising. And I think the main thing here is we're just kind of confused because it just doesn't make any sense. And if there's anything going on besides, and it is, and how does Miami feel is that a gimme? Is it a gimme? Because that's why Notre Dame was bumped out. We got to give them. I mean, all of it is, at the end of the day, all of it is just rotten. It just sucks. And
there's-
that's not even coming across to me as, I'm not trying to come across as a Notre Dame fan that way. I'm bummed that they're not in it. It really sucks. But I think as a college football fan, to not have that, you want Notre Dame playing another big university. You want them in the playoffs. It's just, you want the best teams in there.
But it's not only that. We're not just doing it or saying it because they're Notre Dame. It's because they are one of the 12 best teams in college football. Of
course, they have,
and
they
and it's stupid.
Most of us feel they earn that,
that
right?
they're not there.
Yeah.
And I don't think I'd be as crazy about it, but Miami is one of the 12 best teams in college football this year, and they deserve to be there.
Yeah, no way I'm saying like Notre Dame in Miami. Yeah.
I don't like. I think that there was a path, Paulie, where both of them should have been there.
Do they got to add 2 more slots?
Well, this has happened this morning. Now they're having their meet. There's some meeting. I don't know where they are. They're in
A
Vegas
play-in
or
game.
Dallas
Let's have
or
a play-in game.
Well, that stuff's going to come.
Oh man,
because they do it in college basketball. They now do the first 4.
Because you got to make everybody happy. Right?
Well, but this is.
But
here's the good. Here's the good thing. Here's the good thing about expanding it deeper and deeper. When it was 4 teams, you had a legitimate thing to go. The team that was 5 or 6 or 7 to be like, if I was in, I could have won it. I was good enough, and I was left out. You're at 12 now, and we have these situations where it's like, well, here we go. We got a team or 2 that I think is good enough that maybe could have won the national championship. As you continue to build it out, and they will go to 16 within the next 2 or 3 years. They will go to 16, and then they'll go to 24.
Oh, that'll be too much.
It's happening. But here's the thing about it. When you get to 24, Paulie, if you're the 25th team, and yes, you'll cry for a little bit that you weren't in, at the end of the day, were you probably going to win it all? Probably not. So, and it's like basketball, and I heard somebody bring this analogy up. When the NCAA tournament was 32 teams, and then they went to 50, and then they went to 64, and now they're at 68. Do we spend an hour on Sunday night of selection show going, man, that 20 and 17, that 20 and 13 team from whatever, the 9th team in the Big East didn't get in, but were they really going to win the national championship? No, they weren't. So building it out also takes those things away from you.
I hope they don't build it out
as
to 24.
well.
16.
Oh, they will get to 24 because here's what's also going to happen. And that brings me to the next thing, because this goes into Notre Dame not playing now in the Pop-Tarts Bowl or wherever. Not. The bowls are finished.
Yeah.
It's done. This has now gotten worse and worse every year. It started with a couple players opting out of bowl games. Now you have entire teams opting out of not playing in bowl games. I got a couple 5 and 7 teams playing in the Birmingham Bowl in 2 weeks. Like, it's just stupid at this point. And I did see who brought this up, and it was Rick Neuheisel, former coach of UCLA and Colorado and Washington. And he's on SiriusXM College Nation, whatever it is. And I saw him on with, I think it was Dan Patrick or something. And he said that bowl games are going to eventually be the first game of the season. He said bowl games will go to the first game. They'll have their neutral site, big bowl game, big matchups. It's the beginning of the year. No one's going to opt out. And then that's going to open up the last week of November and all of December to a potential 24-team playoff. And lots of, doing all of that. So he thinks because of how the bowl games have been.
You're saying that. I'm sitting here as a college football fan thinking, would I be interested in watching games that are tagged as a bowl that early in the season?
Well,
would it move
me? Let's take this year.
But I guess in the sense of the opening up the extra weekends, it doesn't matter, right? Because they're
going to 24 either way.
Well, no, but I'm saying as far as moving the bowls, if they were to do that,
right,
it doesn't really matter because the big picture is opening up the weeks.
It would be something like this. Like this year, Texas and Ohio State played the first game of the season in Columbus. It's a big game, 2 big teams. You could brand that in Dallas at the Cotton Bowl, as the Cotton Bowl opener. You could take whoever was last year's Big Ten champ, like Indiana, and play them, and that'll be the Rose Bowl the first weekend of the season. They're gonna, his idea was to go around on the other side of things. And as Steve puts up in the chat box here on our show, it's football, you'll watch it. Which is especially the first week of the season football, where everyone is salivating for it for 7 or 8 months when football ends. They can't wait. People would watch bowl games again. No one cares. You want to know who watches the bowl games in December now, Paulie? Guys like me who gamble on them. That's it. That is why they're there. They are there for gambling. No one is watching the Potato Bowl between Washington State and Utah State, except the people who are laying the 7.5 with whoever like that. That's it. That's the audience.
Mm-hmm.
Now you play the Potato Bowl on Labor Day weekend with whoever and whoever. At least, there might be a little bit more gas for it. So I thought Neuheisel had a good idea.
And just to kind of this whole bowl thing, right? So years ago, we didn't have the CFB, obviously.
Right.
So the bowl games were precedent.
Right.
It was a big thing.
Right.
You would end up having your national champion and everything else. But winning the bowls back in the day, it was basically it was the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Because it was the only thing. Now the CFB has changed, the championship and the playoffs has changed all
and
this.
they've worked the bowls into the final, the second round and the semifinals.
Yeah.
The second round is, the Rose Bowl, the Orange Bowl, the Sugar Bowl. They're having those games at those sites.
The big ones, yeah.
So, that's kind of how they still now keep. But all these other bowls, like Paulie, honestly, like the Liberty Bowl on January 2nd with Navy and Cincinnati. Like
I got plans.
Who cares?
I don't think I'll be watching.
The Holiday Bowl used to be a fun bowl in San Diego. Always a fun, high-scoring game. I mean, it's Arizona SMU. Who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares? All these games are now the whocares.com.
On a national level, nobody cares. Yeah.
Nobody cares. The gamblers care. They're going to bet on the games.
Yeah.
But the biggest problem now is who's playing in them
Mhm.
because everyone quits. So that's a whole nother thing. Players, teams, everyone quits. So that's what you get with all of those things. Pop-Tarts Bowl doing their thing. It is cool, the Pop-Tarts Bowl thing. I'm sure you see they all run around with the Pop-Tart. Now they have all the Pop-Tart mascots running around. So that's the unfortunate thing. And the Irish declined playing in the Pop-Tarts Bowl, of course. So college football as a whole, Paulie, I'm kind of down on it all. I don't know how you could be a fan. Look, I love Notre Dame. I root for Notre Dame. Like, even after this year, I'm like, I don't care anymore. Like, the system is so stupid. Like, I'm going to watch the games. I love watching the games. I love betting on the games. I love watching. It's not like I'm not going to watch the games. Am I going to invest myself in hoping that a team that I like is going to win the national championship? I don't know. I just don't, I think it's such a money grab, awful business.
Even if you take Notre Dame out of the scene right now, there's some good storylines here regardless.
Sure.
So, it stings. It hurts being a Notre Dame fan. It doesn't make too much sense. BYU fans too and all that other stuff.
Right.
So.
But if you're a fan of these, it's like, okay, I don't know.
Well, with the bowl situation going on, they're probably, like I said, you said they're going to go to 24 or 16. I think they'll 16.
Minimum.
I think 24
is
too much. 16, I get it. Then at least it alleviates. You get two extra universities in there because I'm just looking at the way the season played out, right? So who are the top two teams that got? So it's Notre Dame,
right? Who would be? You're saying if it was 16 this year?
Yeah.
Notre Dame finished. It actually would have been Notre Dame, BYU, Texas, and Vanderbilt would have been the four. Those are the next four teams that were the first four out. Now, if you went a step further and did it the way I'm saying, I would get rid of the other dopes in Tulane and then you would even go further to Utah and USC. But that's what I'm talking about. Like,
how about
you go to 16?
What if Notre Dame? The two teams or the three teams that get knocked out, they get to play the lower ranked teams that got in, and they get to play to go in. Then Notre Dame goes in and crushes Tulane or whatever.
Yeah,
puts a stamp on it.
Right. But this is but do you see what I'm saying? Where the further you build it out, if you took the top 16 teams, forget the dopey group of 5 conference winner.
Okay.
USC is 16th. They're 9-3. If they didn't get in, who's crying? They're 9-3. Mm-hmm. It's just at that point, who's what? Okay, so Michigan's 9-3 and they're 18th. Michigan's gonna pound the table. They lost to you. It's just you see how the further out you get, the less controversy. But you know what? They like this stuff. They like that everyone's sitting around yelling about how stupid they are because it's for them.
And we could do 2 hours.
I know.
On this. So no, I don't want to move on just yet. Hold on. So if they do expand the bracket, let's say they do this, right?
Right.
Say it's 16. I don't know if 18 works or whatever, but I don't want 2024. But if it's laid out before you go into your season, right? And every every university, every program wants to step things up. And it usually, what the average is it could be 2 to 3 years to build a program up to get in or whatever. But if you now know that there's those extra 2 spots in there,
Right.
I think maybe as a college season, the games get better for us as fans,
Right.
because everybody's going to want to get that. It puts more emphasis on winning, I guess, even though winning is always the number one thing. But you're not necessarily going to be able to cakewalk.
I think that, and this is another, again, people throw these ideas out. I think another one is, you take the top 4 teams in the SEC, you take the top 4 teams and they bracket out themselves to a winner, and then you'll have years where the 3 best teams are in one conference and someone will cry about that. But there needs to be more of a hard line of criteria of who's in this thing and who's not. What makes that hard, Paulie, also from the bigger guy standpoint, the SEC and the Big Ten, is because these conferences have 100 teams in them now, 18 teams, no one's playing the same schedule. Texas A&M is in this year. They didn't play Georgia. They didn't play Alabama. They didn't play, they didn't play any of these teams. I'm not saying they're a bad team, but they didn't play a comparative schedule to Georgia or even Alabama. They just didn't this year. But because of what they had, they're in the college football playoff, and maybe Vandy isn't. There's no uniformity. It's the wild, wild west, and it sucks. That all being said, I guess I should tell you who is in it.
Yeah, okay.
Because I'm sure we're gonna watch anyway. Because even though we just spent all that time saying how awful it is, I'm still gonna watch the games.
And there's some great storylines going forward here.
First game Friday night, next Friday night, is Alabama and Oklahoma, who played this year. Oklahoma beat them in Alabama. And Oklahoma and Alabama will play. And the winner of that game will play Indiana in the Rose Bowl on New Year's Day. So that's one quadrant. On Saturday the 20th, you get the triple header. Miami and Texas A&M, the first game of the day. And that's a fun game. It is a fun game. The winner of that game will play Ohio State in the Cotton Bowl. Tulane will play Ole Miss, also a rematch. Ole Miss pasted them in September. Winner would play Georgia. And Jimmy Madison going to Oregon is the late game on that Saturday, the 20th. And the winner would play Texas Tech in the Orange Bowl. So those are your college football playoff matchups. I think Ohio State is deservedly the favorite, even though they lost Indiana. And that was a good call by me, too, with Indiana.
Very good call.
With that one. I get a couple right once in a while. So I did get Indiana.
Field goal would have changed things a little bit.
Yeah, listen, but that's the way it goes. That's the way it goes. But I think Ohio State deservedly is the favorite right now. Them and Indiana. I think that Indiana has, I think both roads are tough. I think that Ohio State, the winner of that Miami Texas A&M game, is going to be tough for Ohio State in that first game. None of this is easy at this point.
No, not at all.
None of this is easy.
Look, the way the rest of the bracket, plays out, especially for that second round, it's going to be pretty awesome.
Well, we get Indiana, Ohio State rematch for the national championship. On opposite sides of the bracket. They're the 1 and the 2 seeds.
I don't know. Watching Texas Tech there yesterday and Coach Joey McGuire and all that stuff, they look really good too, man.
I think Texas Tech, Indiana would be a hell of a game if they both win. And that would be a fun game with 2 teams that are not traditional powerhouses of college football.
I was really, as you heard last week, very high on Ohio State.
Yeah.
To the point where, running the table. I don't think so much after that game against Indiana. And granted, like I said, botched field goal there and everything was, they were there, but there's some chinks in the armor there. I think and then watching how some of the other games played out and the offenses and the defenses that are being laid out, and who knows. Look, there's a grinder coming up before we get there.
Right.
But good enough for them. The teams that did get the bye this week and will be waiting. And that is a tough thing too. Seeing how the 2 weeks play out for the teams that are off, and then the teams that got to play 1 week right
next
after
Friday and
on high level, high energy. You're going to go from winning that first round game and then into obviously big bowl games and big TV and audience and everything else. So, look, on that side of it, like I said, Notre Dame's out. Sucks. They're not part of the party. But if you're a college football fan, there's still some great games to look forward to here.
There is still some great games to look forward to, even though they are awful in terms of trying to get to this point. When you start to play the games, it is fun. I don't think that
it's out of our hands, Mike.
I don't think Jimmy Madison in Oregon and Tulane and Ole Miss is very fun, but maybe one of them actually shows up and gives you a little bit of something in those games. And I'll leave you with this. They don't waste much time. I know you're excited for Saturday night when the bucked up LA Bowl with Boise State and Washington at SoFi in Los Angeles.
What's the line?
Washington -9.5.
Oh, boy.
I like the Huskies.
All right.
In that game. But they get you right into it. So if they could play this Saturday, why couldn't the teams in the college football playoff play this Saturday? I get it. Army-Navy's playing this Saturday also, a tradition unlike
none
any
of our
other.
Business.
Army-Navy is a fun game. Always
a great game.
Always a great
Is that who's hosting?
Well, they move it around.
Is that neutral?
This year it's at Baltimore where the Ravens play, M&T Bank Stadium.
All
so
right.
they go to
that's a home game for Navy.
But they it is. But they move that game poorly around the Northeast. They'll play in Philly, they'll play at MetLife, they'll play at Foxborough, they'll play in Baltimore.
Stadium too, right?
I don't think they've played
They've
the
done a Giant
Army-Navy
Stadium.
game, but they have MetLife. Is in the rotation.
See, I call it Giant Stadium. You call them that?
Well, because it's not Giant. The Jets,
know.
The Jets are co-partners in that stadium, Paulie. As much as you got to say it. So there you go, Army-Navy this week, and Navy's much better than Army this year. Which take that with a grain of salt. Let's give me a little Borelli's here, Paulie. Obviously, Carver and Cuthbert, Go Sports Radio from Borelli's Tap Room in Long Beach on the island. Beautiful cold morning here in Long Beach. So you should come down. Say hi to Tommy and the crew at the bar. But tell us what's coming on at
once again, it is Carver and Cuthbert broadcast and live from Borelli's Tap Room here in Long Beach, in the great city of Long Beach. Lots going on here. The place is all decorated in holiday cheer. Looks great. Tonight's pasta night here is sold out, but they just announced that the next one will be Tuesday, January 13th. So if you missed out on tonight's, come back in January on the 13th. Kind of a cool weekend coming up here at Borelli's. Always is. But we're actually happy to announce that UFC fighter Charlie Campbell is going to join us here in-house tomorrow.
Wow.
I'm going to talk some UFC with Charlie. Charlie's a local fighter here from East Rockaway, New York. And he's also going to be guest bartending here Friday night at Borelli's. So come on down. You get 2 chances to hang out with Charlie this weekend here at Borelli's, and that is tomorrow afternoon with us on the show, and Friday night guest bartending here at Borelli's. So that's good stuff. And then on Friday night, in addition to Charlie being behind the bar, live music at 7 p.m. with Current and Company. Okay. Saturday, I've talked about it the last couple of weeks, is the Electric Light Parade here in Long Beach. Road shut down at 5 o'clock. I don't think there's any parking between 2 and 8 p.m., but it's a great time down here. Borelli's will be hosting a good time here, and they're going to have specials running all day during and after the parade here, the Electric Light Holiday Parade here by the city of Long Beach. And Anthony Gow will be providing live music here as well. And I forgot to mention here, Mark Norman was here last night, comedian, sold out. So the comedy series here at Borelli's is going to continue, and that's going to continue into January as well. And Anthony Rodea is going to be here in January as well. I'll get that date a little later on, but the comedy series will resume here at Borelli's in January. And the last thing coming up, there's more coming up in December. We'll have more information tomorrow too, but December 17th is the Billy Joel theme night here, songs from an Italian restaurant right here at Borelli's. Is a $21 pasta dinner special and half price bottles on all wines, in addition to the best craft beer selection here down in Long Beach at Borelli's Tap Room. And as always, come down for all the games, sports, Thursday night football, Saturday and Sunday, college, everything. It's all here. Lots of TVs, great specials, great food, and a great giant wood brick oven over there against the wall,
Yes.
which I had a little trouble pronouncing last week. So
That's
I
all right.
practiced, Mike. But there you go.
Oh, good.
There's
Oh,
a little
good.
Borelli's hit for everybody.
There you go. Carver and Cuthbert, Go Sports Radio from Borelli's Tap Room, as Paulie just mentioned. Get down here for this weekend. And there is a chance that if you come and watch the NFL at Borelli's here on Sunday, there's a chance that during the second window of games, that's the 4:25 East games, you might see a 44-year-old quarterback off the street
Yes.
play for the Indianapolis Colts. As I had to, now usually, look, we're going to get into everything that happened over the weekend.
Is it you, Mike? Aren't you 44?
I'm 45 now, so I missed I'm older than Phil by a little, not by much, but I am. Now, yesterday signed to the Colt practice
Russell
squad.
Wilson isn't doing anything these days.
Not.
Could have got a call, loan him.
Rivers hasn't played since the 2020 COVID season.
2020. What is going on here?
He
Please
is a
elaborate.
semi-finalist for this year's Pro Football Hall of Fame ceremonies, which take place Super Bowl weekend. Could have possibly been going into the Hall of Fame this year. I don't know if necessarily it was going to be this year, but I think he eventually would get there. Bad news for him is if he does take that snap on Sunday, that means another 5 years. He can't. He's got to wait because the clock.
Really?
Oh, the clock resets. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know
If
that.
he takes a snap on Sunday, the clock resets.
Wow.
If he's signed to the active roster, I don't even think he has to go in the game. If they elevate him from the practice squad, and maybe he's got to take a snap, but I think just being dressed and on the active roster.
Do we know? Has he made a decision yet?
Oh, he's on the team.
So it's done.
He's on the practice
I thought they were
squad.
just
He
talking about
signed
this.
yesterday.
Really? So
He
he's
met-
already made his decision.
He met the media this morning with all his Colts gear on.
Wow.
Head coach Shane Steichen said this morning that he could start depending on Riley Leonard's health status. He got banged up in the game last week. Rivers has 10 kids.
What?
2 daughters who are already married. He's a grandfather. He has 1 grandson. He's 44 years old, and he hasn't played in 5 years. And he could start for the Colts on Sunday. They was asked a question about his weight this morning. He had a good laugh, saying he's not exactly what he was when he walked off the field the last time in 2020, but he's not that far off. Let's be real, Steve says. Rivers is starting Sunday. Not going to lie, I didn't think that was possible. But the way these guys are all operating this morning,
Where is the Rivers link here to the Colts? I mean, and explain to me why there's nobody else and why him. How does this all come to Rivers? I don't understand. I mean, like where
as far as
makes sense of this to me, to the layperson who's not a huge Rivers fan or didn't know he had 12 grandchildren.
Well, obviously the last team he
two.
played for was the Colts, which was at the end of the in the 2020
right.
season.
So there you go. I didn't follow Rivers' career towards
he
that.
has worked.
Here's
There's a few other things that are leading up to this year. Rivers worked closely with Shane Steichen when Steichen was with the Chargers in 2011. Obviously, Rivers was on the Chargers forever. So him and
it's all
Steichen
making sense now.
and Steichen have been tight for a very long time. Rivers also worked with Riley Leonard leading up to the draft this past year, in which the Colts, of course, took him. Rivers lives in Riley Leonard's hometown. Rivers is the head football coach at St. Michael Catholic High School. Now, there was something that Rivers also knows the playbook because I guess him being so tight with Steichen, I think there was something else. Like they bounce things back and forth off each other. So apparently Rivers knows the ins and outs. He talks to Shane every single day. There's a lot of connections with Steichen and Rivers that have gone back. It's wild.
It is wild.
But I'll tell you this:
Steve in the chat here knows everything.
I know he's got it. He talks.
He's got the full rundown.
Steve's in on it. Oh, Rivers runs the Steichen offense. That's the one thing. Thank you, Steve. He runs the same offense for his high school football team. A little different. High school and the NFL, a couple levels of difference there, but still, the systems, Paulie, are the same.
High school,
but the systems are the same. The concepts, as they like to say.
Okay.
Look, is this must-watch TV on Sunday to watch Phillip Rivers go into Seattle. Now remember, you're not playing the Raiders on home on Sunday. You're going to Seattle to play the Seahawks.
This is a big game for the Colts, is it not?
Oh, they're
Wow.
spiraling. They need a win. They're in trouble. They've lost Daniel Jones for the year. I if he's starting up, the game will be on one of my TVs.
Well, of course, because then the whole thing is, can Rivers help them win the game? And if they win the game, he's the starting quarterback for the rest of the season. And then he goes into the playoffs, and then they get into the championship game. And
it's
the storyline is there.
Man, getting 2 tutties with Phillip Rivers, 44-year-old Phillip Rivers getting 2 touchdowns on the spread.
How's the O-line? The Colts these days.
There's a reason that they're down 4 quarterbacks now at this point, I guess.
Oh man, is Rivers a religious man?
Oh, he's a religious man. He sure is.
He might need all the help he can get.
So Phillip Rivers is going to start.
Yeah, I guess we all got to check in.
This week.
We all check
Well,
in
he's
on
gonna.
that.
He might start. He might.
And they're playing
It's
the
gonna
Raiders?
No, they're in Seattle against the Seahawks.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying if it was a game like that, like at home against somebody
Okay.
who's not that good,
Gotcha. All right. Yeah.
but it's still a guy coming off the street after 5 years.
Because on the other side, if you're watching the Raiders, you got to check out the spread and see what's going on there too.
Well,
you know,
Colts are getting 14 points in Seattle this week.
I'm just saying.
Will it go
There's
up?
a little controversy there.
Oh, I know. Well, look,
you got to keep
you know
an
what?
eye on Carroll's Raiders the rest of the
one
way
thing is,
for other reasons.
for that to be the Las Vegas team that happens with makes it an even bigger story.
It's awesome.
It's not like it was the coach of Jacksonville kicking a field goal, and this did happen a couple of years ago, and it was a story. Shanahan, and when a Niner ran game, McVay did this, and it was a similar thing. It was like either a 7.5 or a 10-point spread, and McVay kicked a field goal with like no time left to make it 7 instead of 10. It raises questions in today's day and age, but Carroll kicking that field goal to get to 7 when the number was 7.5.
There were certain personalities
people,
calling for murder and investigations.
Oh, I know. Yeah, it was wild.
I don't know.
Wild.
I mean,
Really
I get worked
was.
up about things certain times.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, as I've gotten older, I don't get as worked up as I used to.
Okay.
But man, watching some people just completely lose their shit over things. Now, obviously, if you've got a lot of money on something,
Right.
and, and I'm not in that world.
Yeah.
I don't dump money on a lot of games. I just don't do that. And then when you have personalities who have a lot of money, and it's so obviously
Right.
why somebody got so upset the way they did and went public the way they did. But people are out of their minds. man.
Yeah.
Out of their minds.
Listen, it's big. Big business now, especially since the league's in bed with all of them. Very big business that this gambling is now.
By the way,
It's
we got to
enormous.
we have to get a gambling sponsor.
Let's just do at this point. Just do at this point. A few things from the weekend. Of course, tomorrow we'll go through all this week's games, et cetera, et cetera. Can we put the Chiefs? The Chiefs finished
Woo!
after losing to Houston on Sunday night. Finished
Look,
6-7.
I tell you what, if Mahomes' receivers had caught a few balls,
He did
might
throw
have been a
couple-
different
might have.
game. He played his ass off. He really did.
He's Patrick Mahomes.
And but man, his receivers let him down. And no disrespect, the
Did.
Texans played a really good game. And they won, and it's
Reed
it's 5
cost him the
5.
game. Reed cost him the game. I don't know what he was doing. 10-10. His defense is playing well, going for that on his side of the field late in the fourth quarter. I thought that Andy Reid made it. And listen, he's won a bunch of Super Bowls now with the Chiefs, and he's done so he's not going to get questioned very much. But
Well, I tell you what, before
I thought he made a really
before
bad
he-
move,
you bring
on
up,
Sunday
but
night.
before he won those Super Bowls with the Chiefs, with his other teams in big games, he's also been nailed for a
Sure.
lot of
Oh yeah,
crazy decisions.
yeah, no, absolutely.
So,
But
you don't bring up a bad point. there.
He made a real bad choice. The 10-10 game, your defense is playing well. There's under 5 minutes. Kick the ball, punt the ball, and let your team keep playing defense and play field
And his
position.
receivers need to catch the ball.
That's usually a helpful thing as well. Packers beat the Bears.
Good game, good win.
Good win for the Packers. Bears, of course, couldn't cover that. If you got the 7, at least you pushed, but didn't cover that 6
And that's a little tough, Chicago, because I believe the game this weekend is going to be even colder than it was last week.
I saw Real Feel.
And who are they playing?
The Browns.
The Browns. Oh my goodness.
Real Feel is like single digits.
Yeah, I think
Maybe lower.
that's going to be staff only, I think.
Friends and
that game.
family. It's just staff,
Well,
not even friends and family, just staff.
It's you figure the
Wind is
Bears
whipping here, and
they're going to beat the Browns, right? So,
well, you know what?
I don't know
Nothing's
if-
for
I-
certain
I'm
in
just-
the NFL.
but I just think if you're a Bears fan, I don't know if you're risking your life and hypothermia for that game, that particular game.
Fans go to
the following
games.
game after that, Packers coming back into town, you know.
Yeah, Saturday night game.
So that's a little different. But.
Yeah. It's apparently, I was looking at my early weather reports. I usually don't trust anything until
You
about
look at your
36
early
hours.
weather report? I didn't know.
Well, you got to know about this stuff when
Wow.
you're looking at the numbers and the lines.
If we
and
head
all
out
these
to
things.
Borelli's,
You got to know what's
see
happening.
the snow
I
coming.
got to see if the snow's coming when I come down here. The wind's whipping today in Long Beach. But there's like 5 games this week of potential under 25 degrees, some snow in a few spots. You know, the Eagle Raider game, the Bills Patriots game, even the Giants at home against Washington. Obviously, we're belly aching about the cold here. It's going to be cold at MetLife. Man, now that imagine going to MetLife. And I feel like I do this every week.
MetLife in August.
I feel like I do this every week, no matter who the Jets or Giants are playing. Can you imagine going to MetLife this Sunday to watch the Giants in Washington play?
So for for people who are not from the tri-state area, who might not know but then again, that's not. I'm talking about the experience.
Oh, it's awful.
Like especially for all of us out here on Long Island.
It's a bad experience on a nice day.
Yes.
It's an awful experience. Going to MetLife, especially if you live on Long Island, it could be the most beautiful day in the world outside in terms of weather. It is an awful experience.
So the last time I was at MetLife was for the Rangers Islanders stadium game.
Yeah.
And it was brutally cold.
Awful cold that day.
Brutally cold. I just remember being there. I was concerned for my son, took him, and we were in the parking lot, and it was brutally cold.
Yeah.
Now, as the sun came out that day, and that was February, I believe.
Yeah.
It was, but we dressed like we were.
Well, I was there I
like
remember
we-
that. Yeah,
yeah.
I was there that day too.
You had to dress like
it was
if you
brutal.
were going,
Skiing.
not even skiing.
I mean,
if you're going hiking on
Yeah.
Mount Olympus or something, like you really had to prepare for yourself. But it is damn cold there. And I've been to games there in the past. I've actually seen a Bills game there on a Monday night years ago in my younger days. And, you think that you're going to drink beer and stuff. No, we would look for the hot chocolate.
You can't do it.
Need the hot chocolate.
I think the coldest I've ever been to was, remember when they did the hockey at Yankee Stadium?
I was
the
both of those
same-
games.
both of those
That
games.
was cold too.
The night game.
But we had press creds. We were. In
We
the booth.
did, but the Sunday afternoon game with the Ranger Devils was cold. The Tuesday night with Rangers Islanders, which was dark, it was worse than the MetLife game. It was worse.
I'm walking around just to check out the vibe and everything, and people out there with beers and stuff.
Oh, it's gotta be
I
nuts.
tell you, people impress me.
Yeah,
I couldn't deal with it. I went around for a little bit. I got out to left field, and I had to zoom back to the press room.
but even they had the doors open in the press because the Yankee Stadium, those windows are open.
Well, we
up
were.
there.
I mean,
It's
we had some little bit of safety.
a little
some
bit,
warmth.
but not much. And
And
that
some
was the
catering.
same week that the NFL was in town. The Super Bowl was at MetLife that year. That was the week that I was, at Radio Row with all that.
But even besides the cold, the actual trip to get into the building,
awful.
Especially from Long Island, you got to go to Verrazano, and the traffic. It's a nightmare.
And I like how they sell you. And once again, this is like you got to be local for this one. I like how they sell you. Oh, take the train. It's worse. Trying to take the train to that place.
It takes me
Worse.
They just announced 3 new casinos here in New York.
Yeah.
Why can't we get a football stadium on this side of the bridge? What's the story already?
Be nice.
Give us this football stadium.
Would be nice. That's for sure.
No disrespect to Jersey, but the teams, our New York teams, get them back here on the other side. Let's go. All right, I digress. I'm sorry. We went off on a rant there on MetLife. We're not fans, folks.
Not
You
fans of
couldn't tell.
MetLife, but then again, nobody is. But if you're gonna go watch the Giants in Washington this Sunday, God bless and good luck. For if you actually want to do that, Steelers beat the Ravens.
Yes, I did not think that was
The
going
Ravens
to happen.
finished.
I think so. If they're not,
Finished.
I think so. If they're not beaten,
Can't beat the Steelers at home.
yeah, you can't. That's
Finished. Now that was a catch by Likely, by the way. I know that, but the ball he caught in the end zone, that was a catch.
Yeah, well, see, this is the other
Catch.
thing this past weekend too. A lot of weird stuff. I mean, I guess as NFL fans, calls we're supposed to be used to this by now, but but the obvious ones.
You should, if you are a fan of an NFL team, you have to expect. I'm just going to even say on a week, you're going to get bad calls every single game. They're going to go against you. Maybe you get out a week where you don't, but there are always going to be bad calls. They go against everybody. I know that everyone believes that even the Chiefs sometimes get, not as many as others, but the Chiefs even get bad. Everyone gets, the refs are awful. They're awful. That's how it goes. Did you watch any of the Bills and Bengals in the snow?
Yes.
In Buffalo.
I watched
Wild
the first
game.
half. Wasn't able to watch the second half, and
game.
And that was, on the Bengals side, it was a great first half, and the second half obviously was better for Bills. Josh Allen stepping up, and I think there's a pretty damn good effort. You're the Bills fan here. Are you relieved? Were you concerned? And what's your outlook going forward after that game? And credit to Burrows coming back, playing a hell of a game.
Credit to him. He played very well. I was stunned that the Bills defense made big plays in the fourth quarter because they don't make big plays. And Allen had to be Superman, which he is in those spots. So
the Bengals really showed. I mean, that run. I mean,
yeah.
Where were they?
Wow. And the Bengals are the worst.
He could have ordered a beer, a program,
yeah.
and waved to his mom and dad in the crowd on that run.
Bad job. Bad job all the way around. Did you watch any of the Monday night game with the Eagles and Chargers?
Yes.
Wild finish in that game, too. Hurts was awful. 4 picks, 5 turnovers, and the Chargers escaped 22-19 in overtime.
Escaped is a
escape's the right word for that game.
What are your thoughts there on them going for the touchdown there at the end? I mean, obviously.
Oh, well, you got to win the game. I mean, I have no problem with that. You don't want to kick this. You don't want to tie.
They were looking good.
You got to win. I mean, and they were moving the football.
It's
had a bunch of tip balls.
Yeah.
Tip balls are 50-50 things. Sometimes they fall in the other team's hands. Sometimes it's tough. But Hurts was bad. He was really bad on Monday night.
Love those Chargers unis, man. It's a shame they're just not in San Diego anymore.
That is a shame.
Full marks to Herbert there playing with the broken arm hand.
Full marks indeed.
Full
marks.
Big win for them.
Big win.
Coach Harbaugh was a little excited there at the end of the game. So
and they can really bury the Chiefs this week.
So now I'm going to ask you, are the Eagles done? 8-5 now, right?
They're 8-5.
Not really.
They've lost 3 in a row.
It's probably still not going to lose.
Here's the thing. They play the Raiders, Washington twice. Tommy, who's the fourth game? They play the Raiders, Washington twice, and they play the Bills in Buffalo. So that's a tough game. But the other 3 games, they should win. They're at home for the Raiders this week. If you're on a 3-game losing streak and things aren't going well for you, if there's anything that good fortune that can come your way, it's the Raiders coming to town. That's the best thing that could possibly happen
for the Eagles right now. It's almost like it doesn't matter, especially in that division. They're going to win a division. Regardless.
They got to win.
They're going to win a division, and they're too talented. They're going to be a great team.
They have to win
in the playoffs.
If they win 2 of these last 4 games, they're going to win the division because the Cowboys aren't going to go 4-0. The Cowboys would have to go 4-0 to win the division at that point, which I don't believe is going to happen. Just don't believe that that's happening. So.
No, and I just think the Eagles are just too good. I mean, it's different. If they were sharing the same record with 2 or 3 other teams in the division, different story. But they're gonna be in.
I am going to move to baseball right now because I have a breaking news baseball story for you, and it involves the locals.
All right.
It involves one of the local teams.
I'm excited. I love baseball.
Of course, the winter meetings are going on right now in Orlando. This is where usually a lot of activity happens in the baseball offseason.
All right, I haven't looked at my phone, so I got to ask a question.
This is literally 3 minutes ago, Paul. This is right off the presses.
Is it for Yankees? Our Yankees, or is it for the?
It is Met related.
Oh, okay. Let's go.
It is Met related. So yesterday they lost Edwin Diaz.
See ya. Toodaloops.
Goes to the Dodgers. 3 years, $49 million, whatever that deal was.
Devin Williams is your closer.
And today, Paulie, they lose another member
They lost
of their team.
They didn't gain.
They didn't gain.
Let me guess. Pete, is he
The
gone?
polar bear is out of New York.
Go to Boston.
Pete Alonso, 5 years, $155 million with the Baltimore Orioles.
He went to Baltimore?
Camden Yards for the polar bear.
He must have family there.
5 for 155 for Pete Alonso.
Nobody wants to play with Juan Soto. Nobody wants to play with him.
Maybe nobody wants to play with Lindor. Maybe nobody wants to,
I don't know. I think it's a Soto thing. That's just my feeling. Lindor came back in the lineup 2 seasons ago and carried that team on his back, and they played unbelievable.
You know what?
And the bench was nuts. It was awesome. They make the playoffs.
Good for Pete.
Yeah, man. See ya.
He was a really, really good Met.
Yep.
And they never wanted to pay him the money
Oh,
for
Met
whatever
fans
reason.
Gotta be losing it.
Well, they are. Yes.
I mean, they literally are losing their team, but they're gotta be losing it.
So Alonso in the AL East now. We'll see the Yankees a lot in Baltimore.
Baltimore's a good young
tell
team,
you,
but they didn't play well yesterday.
They didn't play well last year. They took a step back last year.
Gunnar Henderson's fantastic.
I love this because Gunnar Henderson, a big lefty bat. They had a couple of other big lefty bats. Adding a big righty stick like Alonso.
You know, this is
with
good
Gunnar
for the Yankees.
Henderson
The Yankees, Cashman's got to do.
Just remember,
he's got to do some work.
The Yankees aren't making any change. There's no
Yeah,
improvement.
it's
It's
not
status
over
quo.
yet.
It's
It's not over
over.
yet. I still think they're
That
going to
Yankee hot stove was on last night.
Did
you see my tweet about Yankee hot stove? Yankee hot stove was on last night from Orlando. They're sitting there at the little desk at the
I was
hotel.
watching hot stove throughout the day yesterday, but not
So
last night.
Yankee hot stove was on, which is where you usually get all the good Yankee gas about, they're in on that
Caught a
jack.
little of Mets hot stove. That was funny.
There is so little movement from the Yankees
I think they're going to surprise
that
us,
they
man.
put some suit on who's the VP of player development, and they wasted 10 minutes with this guy telling them how great their prospects are because they were trying to make the Yankee fan know we're not making any moves. We're going to tell you about prospects. Meanwhile, everyone else is getting better. Pete Alonso to the Baltimore Orioles.
Wow.
Love it for Pete. Congrats to him.
Mets world. Colin not keeping. I think it's a Soto thing. I really, really do. The money,
I will tell you this.
the city, they're out.
I am not some tapped in. I obviously know some people around things. Soto is not the rah-rah, warm and fuzzy guy in the locker room. He's very much a mercenary who keeps to himself and doesn't want to be really buddy-buddy with that. Is he friends with guys on the team? I'm sure that he is. He is not a guy who's going to lead a clubhouse. He is there to get his paycheck, put up his numbers, and go home. It seems to me that, especially when you got that story from the Post 2 weeks ago with the Lindor and the McNeil and some other things, I think if there's anyone who maybe rubs someone the wrong way, it might be Lindor in the Mets locker room. I think that he might be the guy that rubs some people the wrong way. Now,
I would have thought that in previous years.
I don't know if I
Not
necessarily
after the run
believe
last,
that,
2 seasons
but
ago.
that, like you said, that run 2 years ago where he was incredible and guys around, that makes me think that's not true. But I've heard some things differently.
I've also seen Lindor in the family light of things and the stuff he does in the community and everything else, and his personality, and he's obviously been with the Mets longer than Soto. Soto just got there,
right?
I mean, the other flip side of this is, unless maybe Alonso's gone, Diaz is gone, maybe they're making changes because maybe there's guys that they want to bring in for Soto, build around Soto. I don't know, but
man, that's
I
tough.
guess these are just
tough couple days for the Mets. Winter, man, 5 years, 150.
Well, it's, definitely for the fan base. These are guys that they really enjoyed, being fans of. These Alonso and Diaz are a big part of the team here the last few years, I should say. So,
well, look, it really seemed, Paulie, that since Stearns came in to run the Mets, he's had no interest in keeping Alonso long term. I think he was kind of forced into it last year. I think maybe it dragged on for so long that at that point it was like, all right, well, we can do this kind of 1 year opt-out deal and just run it back. he was never interested in giving him this kind of a deal. 5 years, $155 million. And I think that just listening to some of the Met fans over the past 36 hours, they're getting a little tired of the kind of I'm smarter than you, better than attitude that David Stearns has as kind of a
What is it there? 2 years now?
I believe he's there 2 years, but I think he has that arrogance because he ran a small market shoestring budget type of team in Milwaukee for so long and did a very good job doing it, that he thinks he's smarter than everybody else. And here's the biggest problem, and what I would have if I was a Met fan. When Cohen came here and bought the team from the Wilpons, and they basically, they're partying in the streets, Paul. I mean, they're giving the guy parades because they thought things are going to be different. And I think that, yes, they've spent tons of money. And you go to Soto last year, and you go to, remember, Scherzer and Verlander that one-off season to try to shore up the pitching, and that didn't work out. And I think the one thing they thought that would be true is that if they had their guys, they would never lose them. Like Alonso is a Met fans love Alonso because, and I get this, and I feel the same way. You get attached to guys that came up on your team, and they're your guys. Yep. And Alonso is a Met. He's been a Met his whole, and people feel attachment to that. And to not pay one of your own guys, that hurts people. It bothers people. And I think Stearns kind of gives off a little better than attitude.
Well, I had a lot of fun watching the reactions to the Mets fans yesterday about Diaz. I'm now looking forward this afternoon to seeing the reactions to Alonso gone.
What a shame.
So here's the thing.
What a shame.
We're Yankees fans. And who's going through a worse right now?
I've already resigned I'm not even just, I don't get mad at it. It's common practice that the Yankees are going to do
I'll be
nothing.
there at opening day. It doesn't matter. So.
I'll be there opening day too. I'm always going to be a fan, but I am not going to sit around for the next couple of weeks.
I think Cashman's going to surprise us all.
He's not surprised at anything. He's not going to do a thing.
He's got something up his sleeve.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all. I don't think they're going to do anything. I just don't. I don't even think they're going to re-sign Bellinger at this point. I think the Grisham thing really hurt him in terms of re-signing Bellinger.
I think Grisham's going to be in
We're too left-handed. We're too left-handed. He started talking the other night down there in Orlando. Too left-handed.
Grisham gets traded. He's part of the deal. That's my
I don't think so. I think that they're running it back.
Schwarber, Phillies,
yes,
re-signs.
They had to bring him back.
I like that he's staying home. I like it.
Well, his most recent home, yes.
Yeah.
Most recent. He's been around a little bit.
I know,
but yes, staying in Philly.
His home.
They're
a very tight team. They've probably got one more year, 2 years tops with this crew.
I would be interested, and I don't think they're going to do it.
I mean, they can't win the big series.
And I know Steve's a Philly fan too, but as a Philly fan, good. It seems like there's been some friction with them with Harper now. And I know Harper's game has fallen off. He's had a lot of injuries. If they would maybe think about, and it's hard to move a guy who's still got that many years and that much money left. Mm-hmm. I think you had to reward Schwarber. He's had 3 monster years in Philadelphia. And I think that that's a really good job by them bringing him back. And the Dodgers get richer with Diaz, and they're going to trade for Skubal probably today or tomorrow also. So,
yeah, so
the rich get richer.
You know what? That'll be something else if they
get Skubal. Oh yeah, it's happening.
So
I believe it.
Who's the guy who just retired from the Dodgers?
The guy who just retired.
Just retired. Tom. Pitcher.
Oh, geez. What are you doing to me here?
Oh,
Kershaw.
So I'm trying to make sense. They bring Diaz in here. They've got a stacked starting lineup,
right?
A starting rotation, the Dodgers. So maybe we can't do it today, but I'm just trying to think. It's going to have to be a trade, correct? Right. So you wonder how much or what do the Dodgers have? What are they going to give up, as far as getting him in there? But look, if the Dodgers get Skubal, everybody's like, oh, it's terrible what's going on with the Dodgers getting all these players and everything else. I look at it this way. You just got to go out and beat them. That's it. Just get fired up and beat them. I mean, we're Yankees fans. We're used to our organization for years
Not anymore.
I know, but I just said for years in the past, we got whoever and whatever we wanted.
The Yankee way died when George died, unfortunately. And that's that. They're not run like that anymore. They're a business now, not a baseball team. They're business first.
So with respect to the Dodgers doing what the Yankees were doing for years, us as Yankee fans,
I don't have a problem with it. I think the Yankees should be doing that. That's what the Yankees should be doing.
Yeah. That might change,
Yes.
Unfortunately, we're gonna probably have to wait until Judge steps aside. But he's that whole transition, right?
Oh.
So I know it sucks.
Steps aside. He just said he's gonna be here forever.
Well, you're talking about him aging, right? So he's gonna end up being DH, right? Giancarlo's eventually gonna move on. I mean, I'm just thinking, a couple of years down the road here, we have to start looking at how the Yankees are gonna look and things are gonna change. Judge isn't gonna be playing the field.
Probably not.
So again, as far as right now is concerned, who's in a tougher situation? Yankees fans and Mets fans.
Wild.
I think the Mets are winning right now.
Wild day.
Yeah.
Wild.
Good
couple
breaking
of
news
days
there, Mike.
for the Mets. There with that. We'll see if any other deals. Usually, like we said, the winter meetings. Joel Sherman says the Mets never made an offer.
Wow.
As it became clear to them, Alonso was getting bids for more dollars in years than was in their comfort zone. They didn't want to pay Alonso. Just what it comes down to. 5 years a lot. Good for him for getting 5 years.
Baltimore.
Good for
I
him.
didn't think he'd go to Baltimore.
The Orioles come to Citi Field on September 14th, buddy. Get your tickets. Orioles in town in September. Go and see them. With that. Nice job. Carver and Cuthbert, Go Sports Radio at Borelli's Tap Room in Long Beach. Let's do one more time with the Borellis, then we'll finish with some pucks and a few other things.
You got it. Once again, the pasta night here at Borelli's, 912 Beach Street here in Long Beach, New York, West Beach Street. Pasta night is sold out tonight. Good stuff going on here this weekend, including tomorrow here on Borelli's. UFC fighter, lightweight division, Charlie Campbell will be here with us tomorrow. And he's also going to be guest bartending here on Friday night. And also on Friday night, live music here by Current and Company. Saturday is the Electric Light Parade here in Long Beach. Come on down. Specials all day here at Borelli's featuring Anthony Gal, live music that evening. And next comedy show will be coming in January. Anthony Rodia, I believe it's going to be the 14th, Wednesday the 14th of January. Double check on that. But you can go to Borelli'sTapRoom.com and Eventbrite and search Borelli's Tap Room for all upcoming comedy series tickets here at Borelli's. And next Wednesday, the return of Billy Joel Night here, songs from an Italian restaurant, featuring the best music, best hits from Billy Joel, and $21 pasta specials, dinner specials, and specials and
buddy.
half price bottles of wine.
Yeah.
Bottle of red or bottle white here
Bottle
at
of red.
Borelli's. All right. Now,
Bottle of white.
it is cold. Me and you could probably pay some puck right here on the ocean here outside here at Borelli's.
Yeah.
Just down the road
that.
from us here.
Watch the Islanders last night?
I caught the highlights of the Heineman winner in OT. That's a good 2 points there for the Isles against Vegas, who's been coming into the area here and stealing points.
Sorokin's been excellent. He is really, he had a bad October. He has made up.
Who do you have the shutout against the other night?
He shut out the Lightning twice. Didn't he shut them out twice last week? Or he did have one shutout against
So you guys beat the Avalanche.
The Lightning shut
out the Bolts.
2-1 and then 2-0.
That's three pretty damn good teams you guys played well against.
You're just talking the last week since December started. Beat the Lightning twice, beat Colorado, beat Vegas, and they lost the 4-1 game in Florida on Sunday. So they're 4-1 in the month of December, and they now find themselves third in the Metro. Third in the Metro. How about that?
Third in the Metro, 1 point. Only 1 point behind the Caps, who are considered one of the best teams.
Right,
I'm sorry, 2 points.
Yeah, but they're right.
I'm sorry, Carolina.
They got the third best record in the. Everyone is better than the Atlantic. Look at that. They'd be first in the Atlantic if they were in that division. They've been playing good hockey.
8th in the league. Islanders 8th in the league.
They're playing great. It's a
Even
very
with
encouraging.
The injuries to Palmieri and Romanov.
Doesn't matter. They're a machine.
Who stood up for Schaefer the other night? He got popped last night, right? Duke. The Duke.
Yeah, the Duke.
Duke. They got some passion over there in
They do.
Elmont.
They have some passion.
They're looking good. And I think as an Islanders fan right now, as far as the watered down NHL that it is, it's a good spot to be in.
It's not a bad spot to be the Islanders right now, who play the the Ducks tomorrow night. And then they play the Lightning again Saturday. It's 3 times in 2 weeks they're playing the Lightning.
It's all right. It's a good test. I think Vasilevsky's out for the Bolts now for a little while.
Yes.
So another opportunity for them to give the Bolts the business.
Quack, quack. Meanwhile, Strangers,
baby.
They lost that game they played Vegas and Colorado over the weekend too. Lost both games. Got a well-earned point against Colorado on Saturday.
Yes.
Deserved that point.
Mm-hmm.
Threw away a point against Vegas on Sunday.
That was a hell of a play and goal by Eichel off the boards.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you this, Shesty and Click, not there for the big-time saves when they need them.
No. But that's sometimes, it's just like I was saying about Sorokin. I think that sometimes that's the biggest thing is when you're getting – it's anything else. You're getting good save. You're getting good goaltending. You're going to win game a lot more. You're going to have a chance to win some of these close, tight games. Whereas,
Quick and Shesty doing all they can within a game. But I just think on the goals that they've been beaten on lately, they're not making the huge stops. And that's what you're paying, especially Shesty. His boatload of money, and that's the thing I'm saying. And he still seems to always get beat over his shoulder there. Get him to drop low. He's toast. But hey, the Rangers are right again in this watered down NHL. Okay, the Rangers
right there.
at 34
couple
points
back.
Okay, are only 5 points back
of
the third place in the league, Washington Capitals. So there's 5 points.
You got to understand, there's 2 teams running away from everybody else right now. Colorado and Dallas are just head and shoulders better than everyone. And they're playing just an incredible clip of hockey. Everyone else is right there. The Rangers they're 1 point. Are they 1 point out of a playoff spot?
It's December 10th.
They're 1 point out of a playoff spot, and you would say that their season, that they have not played well this season, and they're 1 point out of a playoff spot. Generally, overall, if you had to just say the Rangers' first 31 games this year have been blah.
They have been more interesting to watch these last 3 or 4 games. Now, I know Coach Sully was going through some personal stuff there. It seems since he's come back, he missed a game, I guess, in San Jose, I believe it was. I'm probably wrong there. But he did miss a game.
On the real long road trip, he did miss it. Vegas, it might have been, right? He missed Vegas.
But when he came back, the guys have just been playing a little bit better. Now Foxy's out. So that's another part of it as well, too. But all right. But, they still got the same old problems. Panarin, he can't back check to save his life. I think he was involved with that Eichel winner there the other night, too. So, I don't know. But again, it's December 10th in the NHL, and everybody has a chance. So,
and another Chicago
Rangers. They should. Blackhawks have been reeling ever since we talked to Tab a week or 2 ago.
They've gone
bad luck
down the street.
I don't think Tab's ever going to talk to us again.
It's possible.
Hey, look! Did you see that the NHL approved for the Avalanche to wear those Quebec Nordique jerseys against the Habs so they can have the blue and red? All right, just wanted to bring that up.
Greed. I hate that. I hate it. I despise.
Let's go. Let's go up to
Montreal. It's so gross.
It's gonna look cool.
Of course, it's gonna look cool.
And look cool.
But if I'm sitting on my couch in Quebec, I probably don't think it looks cool.
No, I've always stated that. It's insulting for the fans of the original Quebec Nordiques. I'd love to interview somebody from Quebec. We should try and get somebody on the show and just find out how they really feel. Maybe they could just tell us to stop worrying about it. And maybe they're all going. So, we're young guys, me growing up in the 70s and the early 80s in the Patriot division and, the old conferences and the old sweaters and the old teams, the Whalers and the Nordiques. That was fun. So, it's going to be cool to check in to see that those 2 jerseys back on the ice again. So, but anyway, little side note. Yes, I know. It's a whatever.
I hate the greed. I really do.
There's greed everywhere, Mike.
There is.
In every sport.
I like how now too they're
This NBA Cup thing that's going on. I don't know what
well,
is that all about money too?
That is greed. And sometimes greed is good, and sometimes it's But the NBA Cup, the Knicks are going to Vegas now. Second year in a row, they're going to Vegas in the NBA Cup semis.
Now, if they win the NBA Cup, do we have a parade here down the Canyon of Heroes?
They should not. No. Should not have a parade.
How many teams are left in this NBA Cup?
So the East quarters were last night. So the Knicks and Orlando won. So the Knicks and Orlando will play each other in Vegas next week. Tonight is the West quarters. So OKC is playing Phoenix, and the Lakers are playing the Spurs. The winners of those games join the Knicks and Orlando in Vegas. Now, you're at the stage now where every round you make, the players get more money. The players get money.
Really?
Players get money. So I think I saw them, all the Orlando guys get like $250K now minimum.
Do the franchises get money too?
The players. This is the Players Cup, Paulie. This is incentivizing. See, they did this. The original idea for this was we want to try to make some of our games before Christmas attractive and matter, because I think obviously the prevailing thought for a very long time, as it should be, was that the casual fan probably doesn't dip into the NBA until Christmas Day. Well, now the NFL's come in and bulldozed Christmas Day too, but the NBA's always been a Christmas Day bunch of games thing. They wanted to try to enhance their November and December, early December product by making these games that matter more. And they count towards regular season games, except these games in Vegas next week. Those do not. But all the games up until then count towards the regular season standings. There's a huge pool of money that the players split. If you win it, you get to go to Vegas for a few days in the middle of a long, grinding and grueling NBA season where they fly charter planes all over the country. But that was the whole deal. Obviously, you have Amazon as a huge sponsor, who's, I guess, they're the telecast, they're the television provider for it now. And
probably not going to watch it.
Me?
No, I'm probably not.
You're probably not going to watch it. I did have some interest last night from a monetary perspective, and I probably will tonight as well. But even with that last night, I was watching a lot of the hockey and the Isles and a few other things, so I was kind of, once the Knicks got up like 20 on Toronto, I really wasn't.
Same vein, I didn't watch the MLS championship game either.
Who ended up winning? Miami, right? Did Messi win? I saw some highlights of Messi.
Messi and Beckham won, yes.
But World Cup draw was last week too.
Yeah, real quick on that, and I don't know if we have time to talk about it today, but I'm confused because I thought the Irish were in a playoff to get in.
It is a very confusing aspect of it. So they always do the World Cup draws like 6 months before the World Cup. The way they've changed the schedule now, though, these playoff spots, they don't play those games until March. So
they're going to be added into groups? Is that what's going on?
So they put the slot of the different. So there's 4 separate pods of the Euro playoff, right? There's going to be 4 teams that come out and get to the World Cup. Ireland's in one of the pods with Denmark, yeah. and who are they playing? Czechs, right? They're playing the Czechs and the 4th team. Whoever comes out of that pod was put in the draw as Euro playoff qualifier number 4.
Okay. I didn't see that.
So in the draw, when you know how they do the whole thing where they hold open so one of them says the Euro playoff number D was put in Group A with Mexico, Korea, and South Africa. So if Ireland find a way to get through, they will be in Group A with Mexico, Korea, and South Africa.
Okay.
That's how they slotted those 4 playoff teams.
Winnable group too.
Now they'd have to play those games in Mexico because that's Mexico's group. All the games
are hot for the Irish down there.
It'll be a little hot for the Irish down in Mexico. But taking that, staying with it for a minute, the U.S., they were given or drawn, depending on who you want to, kind of a conspiracy theorist you are, drawn into what I feel a very winnable group for the United States. And that they want the United States to perform well at this to get them further into it.
They'll find a way to get knocked out. They always do.
They better not find a way to get out of this group stage. Because if they can't get through Paraguay, Australia, and they have one of the playoff slots in the Euro in their group also, but one of the weaker ones.
I couldn't name a guy on the U.S. soccer team. I don't know who's coaching them.
Pulisic, you should know. You should know Pulisic.
Don't
know Pulisic.
Same way, outside of Messi, I have no idea who plays in the MLS. No interest.
Well, yeah, they do.
And I'm a huge Premier League.
Yeah.
And I guess that's the thing. Like I can't.
It's the U.S. coach now.
You can't go skiing in upstate New York and then go ski in Colorado. They're two different worlds.
Denmark would be the team. They're the best team in the pod that's in the USA's.
So I can't watch MLS when I watch the Premier League. I just can't do it.
The guy who coaches the team now is the guy that used to coach Tottenham. Pochettino. Remember he used to coach Tottenham? Pochettino. He's the U.S. coach.
I don't know if he wasn't a part of Manchester United, really.
Well, the Manchester United Football Club. The Manchester United Football Club. That's great in Euro Trip when they all come in.
Yeah.
Into the bar with all the Man United fans.
It's a bucket list for me, and that's to get over to Old Trafford one of these days.
Yeah, you better do it before they go to the. Aren't they building a new building? Aren't they knocking the old place?
They're building it around.
They're going to keep the old place as like a shrine for life, and they're going to play 8-year-old games in it. And that's, just like they still haven't knocked down the Astrodome, right? In Houston. They've kept that as like a shrine down there, the eighth wonder of the world, whatever they call it.
Not even going to pretend to know the answer to that. I have no idea. So, all right. So that's the
Harry
soccer.
Kane isn't gaining U.S. citizenship anytime soon, Steve says.
Bravo, Steve.
He's not gaining U.S. citizenship.
Bravo.
Anytime soon. But there you go. Knicks move on in the NBA Cup. What you had something else for me? What did you have? Thought you had something else for me.
Well, I mean, just real quick. I mean, just going back to
Wish I had more breaking news for you.
No, that's okay. I mean, obviously, we'll do more NFL tomorrow as far as the upcoming week and everything else. But
we're talking fights tomorrow. Don't forget that.
I know. Yeah, we're gonna.
You gotta get
looking for Charlie's.
Put the gloves on with Charlie tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh no way. No, we are not fighting live here tomorrow.
We're not fighting live.
I would. What's the tap out? What do you tap out on the shoulder?
I always go back
on the side of the ring tapping out.
In the what was that in the Entourage movie where they all go and see Ronda Rousey and she's like, Turtle, you wouldn't last 10 seconds with me, and she gets him and she's got him in the arm bar and tap out. Snaps his arm right there.
Well, that's gonna be a lot of fun tomorrow.
Yeah.
I mean, UFC has just become this monster platform ever since it was obviously what do you call it? Legalized, and it's coming into New York was a big thing.
Oh, it's been massive.
Charlie recently fought in Australia. I don't know if he's fought since then, and we're gonna get all these. We're saving all our questions tomorrow for Charlie. But UFC's got its own controversy stuff as well. There's a big fight there not too long ago, a couple weeks ago at Madison Square Garden. There was a big fight in the stands featuring some other.
Well, they all have every fight has a fight in the stands.
It's
that's part of being at the UFC event. There has to be a fight in the stands as well.
Biggest thing for me talking to Charlie tomorrow, obviously about how he became a fighter and actually just stepping into those rings, is the world of UFC, man. It's something else. It really
it is wild.
Who's the guy who runs it? Dana White. Dana White. Yeah.
Dana White runs the UFC, and he's turned it into a $1 billion industry. So it's unbelievable what he's taken it from. I mean, they have cards every week now. They've got this new deal. I mean, they're going to be on Paramount.
The women's fighting is unbelievable too.
It's nuts. It really is. So we will have that tomorrow. Here on Go Sports Radio from Borelli's Tap Room in Long Beach. And Paulie, we will go through all of the NFL games tomorrow for this week. We'll even give you maybe an LA Bowl pick for Washington and Boise.
And bravo on the
Army Navy
Indiana pick there.
Indiana, I loved Indiana.
Good for them
on Saturday night. That was a great job by me. I'll pat my own back here for a moment. It was a great job by me. I don't get to do it very often. But with Indiana, I absolutely will. So lots of that tomorrow. Maybe the Mets will have a response after losing the polar bear today.
Maybe the Yankees will have a response.
No shot.
Come on.
By the time we're back here tomorrow that the Yankees have done anything of significance other than maybe put another suit on Hot Stove tonight who's going to talk about prospects. Great job as always, Paulie. Go Sports Radio from Morelli Tavern. Tomorrow. Tune in on Thursday.